Here we are. We meet again. Or maybe for the first time. Or maybe for the last time. Yeah, probably for the last time, yeah. You might remember me from other videos that are on the internet. I don't know how really to get this kind of thing started. I think that what a lot of people do with videos like this is they start off with a long, performative sigh, like a therapeutic sigh, you know, when you sit down to make a video about the truth. Maybe I should name this video The Truth so that it gets like 1 million views. It'll be my most popular video. Oh my god, I'm in this position of just great gains here if I play my cards right. Unfortunately, I've already kind of blown the whole thing by letting you know that I'm not actually doing these manipulative tactics. Ah, shit. A lot of you already know, and that's because I've talked about it everywhere as much as I can for literal months. Many a YouTube commenter has noticed my, you know, change in appearance over the course of time. I think this is the loudest that I've ever looked, but that's intentional. It's a coming out video. But anyway, where Twitter is great and Tumblr is like a place that I hang out every now and then, I guess, and other such social medias are places where I post things occasionally, my home has always been YouTube. YouTube has always been the place where I've been like, it's time to talk and say my truth about whatever it is, usually my opinion on some sort of piece of media, but YouTube has always been the place. I sit down, I talk to YouTube. So here we are, months too late, talking to YouTube. And the reason that I'm doing this so late is because I honestly don't know really how to talk about it. It's easy enough just kind of living your truth and being a certain way and just trying to slowly gain confidence and go out more and be a little more brave in your style and the way that you dress and the way that you talk and the way that you act. That's one thing, and that's a thing that is normal for most people, but actually sitting down and trying to talk to basically a camera, because I can't see any of you and I have no idea how you guys are going to react to this sort of thing. But over the last couple months, I've seen mixed reactions, to be honest with you. I've gotten reactions that are like monumentally positive, and a lot of people are saying that, you know, this is very exciting and they're happy for me and they notice that I appear to be a lot happier. I am. But also there's a lot of people that just immediately start lecturing me and telling me that it's not true and that there's a whole lot of bullshit. Because apparently I didn't do any research in the many years that I struggled with this. Whoops, I forgot to do research on my life. But anyway, the point is, I guess I'm kind of noodling around the point here, but I'm just going to, because I can't gauge the reaction, I'm just going to say it out loud, and we'll see what happens, okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Fuck, I didn't say it, did I? I'm transgender. I've known for a very, very long time, since I was a very young child, but I didn't know that there was a word for it. And later on, when I did learn that there was a word for it, I felt so othered by that concept that I just pretended that that wasn't something that I connected with. And so when people talked about that sort of thing, I always thought about it in terms of like those people, you know, the transgender people over there that are definitely not anywhere near me. Even though, you know, you look on them with envying eyes, you still are like, that's definitely not me. My life is much simpler being a normal cis person. But as time has gone on and a lot of people have made me feel more safe about this sort of thing, I have come to terms with the truth about myself, and I feel a lot better about that. Which is probably why I've seemed so happy lately. It's not just the fact that I'm, like, changing my life in a radical way that's, you know, positive and for the better, that leads to me being more open and happy generally, but also just because, like, I feel like I understand so much that I didn't understand before. I feel like I've been like tripping is a good way of saying it. If you're walking along and then you trip, but I've been tripping just over my feet my entire life, and there's just been a lot of situations where I feel like, you know, I don't do things that I want to do, and I stop myself from thinking things and saying things and having a voice and doing things that I actively wanted to do because I wanted to maintain the status quo of my life. I didn't want to crack the egg, you know what I mean? As time has gone on and I've gotten more confident and I've met a lot more people that are a lot more open about this sort of thing, it kind of dawned on me that it was like, well, regardless of what I think about it and what I say about it, the egg is cracking, and it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time. So the time is now. While it makes me a lot happier and it makes me feel a lot better, it's, you know, I have to have a supporting community too, and I have to know that, like, the one thing in my life that I have worked and built over a lot of time, which is my YouTube channel, is going to support me. You know, it's a sensitive thing, and it's scary too, because very often I feel like I get a lot of support from people who know, but then people who don't know, you know, they get angry at me, or they, you know, attack me, or they harass me, or they want to explain it to me, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't need that. What I need is to know that the place that I've built is going to stay here after things change. I'm coming out to you in a way. I'm coming out to tell you that things are going to change and that there's not a lot you can do about that. I'm going to be the person that I've always wanted to be, but at the same time, I am coming to you with a question, which is, will you accept that? Like, will you accept me as I am? Oh no. There's a little cry. But the point is, I didn't put this video together to cry to you and tell you that this is like some big thing. I mean, this is a big thing, but it's a big thing that I think is all right. I think it's good. And I think it's good that I'm telling you about it, just generally. And I hope that you'll stay with me. And I hope that you'll be here for me like you always have been. I'm not so much interested in making quote-unquote trans content, TM. I'm mostly interested in just continuing to do what I already do, but just as me instead of as some character that I've been trying to play. You understand? So mostly I just kind of want to be visible. You know, I want to be a visible trans person. And I think that we need that kind of stuff too. You know, I don't think that it's necessarily super important that trans people make trans content. I think that trans people just being visible is good and cool and helpful. I don't say this kind of to like stir up a bunch of drama and a bunch of bullshit, and I definitely don't do this to end up on, you know, some douchebag's channel having a debate about whether or not I exist. And that's like foregone, not part of the plan here. I'm telling this to you as a friend. Shannon Strucy has this really good video on parasocial relationships and how like people form friendships with people that aren't there, but whatever ethereal thing I'm speaking to, I do have an attachment to it. It's not a one-sided thing. It is like, I feel like when I speak to you, I am speaking to someone, and it's someone who's always listened to me and always cared about me in ways that, you know, maybe other people haven't. So I do feel that when I'm speaking to you about this, and you're just silently sitting there listening, then maybe there's a chance that you'll understand, and tomorrow you'll still be there waiting for me to talk at you some more. That's the hope, at least.
Yeah, solidarity.
Oh, what? You're coming out of the closet now, too? Whatever. Anyway, more stuff coming soon. I hope that you're game with this. It's nice to meet you. My name is May.